Joining us right now to talk about Israel's retaliatory airstrikes, whether Iran could strike back, and the potential endgame for the conflicts in Gaza and Lebanon is Firas Maksad, a senior fellow with the Middle East Institute. And Firas, let's talk about this response. It seemed like it was measured. How will this impact things, and what do you think the next reaction is?
Good morning, Becky. Yeah, I mean, listen, chess is big in Iran. Some Iranians believe it was invented there. To put this in chess terms, Israel certainly did not go for the kill on Saturday morning. It did not go after some of the nuclear installations or even the energy infrastructure, as many in the markets particularly feared. It certainly did checkmate the Islamic Republic of Iran. It took out its sophisticated air defense capabilities, and even went after some of the ballistic missile sites, the missiles that were used to attack it earlier in the month. So it now leaves Iran virtually exposed for a potential second wave of attacks. And it's essentially signaling to the Iranians that if you choose to respond in a direct and forceful fashion, we can come back.
Do you think a second strike from Israel is likely after the U.S. elections?
Well, certainly the supreme leader in Iran is leaving this ambiguous. He did address a crowd after the Israeli offensive, said they're currently deliberating and they did not make a decision one way or the other. My sense is, and I think that's currently reflected in the markets and oil prices, is that given the success of the Israeli offensive, Iran would severely miscalculate if it chose to retaliate directly. I think an indirect.
I'm sorry. I mean a direct response, a second direct response from Israel. We know that the United States, the administration, has pushed Israel to not do more, with the expectation that it could impact the U.S. elections. If the U.S. elections are done a week from tomorrow, would you expect to see Israel more freely make additional moves towards Iran?
The chances is certainly out there that this could be a multi-stage event, several waves. It's currently unlikely. What happened is essentially proof that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who probably knows Washington better than most Israeli politicians, did not want to anger the Harris campaign by going for a broader strike that might undermine her chances in the elections by setting the Middle East on fire. However, he certainly did keep that door open, particularly if Iran does respond directly. If there's a president-elect Trump come November 6th, I think that certainly gives Israel more leeway to act again. If we have a president-elect Harris in the White House, I think Bibi Netanyahu would have to step forward more carefully.
Firas, you've made the point that the damage that has been done to Iran's proxies, Hezbollah, watching what's happened with this, you think that this is incredibly striking and something that people will look back and say that this was a moment in time when there was a major shift?
Absolutely, Becky. If the high point of Iranian power and power projection in the region was probably after the Arab uprisings and the collapse of the Arab state system after 2011, in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen, all these coming under Iranian domination and hegemony, I think people will look back to this war, October 7th of last year, and everything that has followed. Israel taking down and degrading Hamas, taking down and degrading Hezbollah, killing its leader, Hassan Nasrallah, and certainly going after militias in Iraq and the Houthis in Yemen. I think this is a turning point, and I think we're about to see the tide turn on Iranian influence throughout the region.